welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hey, hello, my name is Meg and we do crafty things here. So if you like crafty things, please do consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and tuning into another video. You rock! Okay, so after last month's wrap up, you guys were asking me about the watermelon bracelet I had made and if I could do a tutorial on it. So this is pattern 9593 on Braceletbook. It is by myself. Yes, this is the first pattern I ever designed, and because of that, it is actually based on the candy stripe. So today's tutorial, do not be deceived, is going to have a number of different knots in it, not just forwards knots. So keep that in mind, but this is what you will need. You will need, of course, your colored string, your scissors because we're working with string, and whatever you choose to anchor with. And you're going to want to set your strings up as follows. It's going to be 2 dark green, 1 light green, 1 white string, 2 pink strings, 1 black string, and then 4 pink strings. So this pattern is kind of conducive to not having a loop or an uneven loop. Starting off, we're going to do a forwards knot with our first green string over our second dark green string. So again, that's a 4 shape. Pull your string through once, pull it through twice. That's a forwards knot. Then we're going to do a forwards backwards knot with that same dark green string over our light green string. So forwards backwards, you're going to do a 4, pull the string through for the first half, and then you're going to make a sail or a backwards 4 shape, pull your string through for the second half. That puts both of our dark green strings back at the edge, so they'll be there on the next row. Now we're going to carry on with the light green string we just knotted around. Now because we just want a single row of this down our bracelet, we're going to do a forwards backwards knot here as well. So that's a 4 shape, pull your string through once, and then instead of doing it again, you make your backwards 4 or sail shape, pull your string through and pull it tight for the second half of the knot. And we're going to do the same thing with our white string as well. So our white string is now going to go around our first pink string here. Sorry, I'm just laying these all back out, trying to make it clear for you guys. So we're going to do our 4 shape and we're going to do the first half of the knot. And then for the second half of the knot, we will make our sail shape and pull our string through. So that basically what that does is it keeps our strings all in the same order on that left hand side. So the start of every single row, we have the peel basically of our watermelon, the skin, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now with our dark pink string we just knotted on, we're going to do a forwards knot on our neighboring dark pink string or pink string. We don't have 2 shades of pink. I don't know why I call it dark pink. And then this row is going to have seeds in it. So we're going to actually take our black string and knot around the dark pink string that we just knotted around. We're going to do a backwards forwards knot. So you do your sail shape, pull it tight for the first half of the knot, and then the 4 shape for the second half of the knot. And now holding on to our black string, we're going to bring it into our next knot. However, we're going to make our pink string do the knot. So it's going to do a backwards knot over the black string. This allows us to carry our black string forward to do the second seed in this row. So now our black string that we just knotted on is going to do a forwards backwards knot on the pink string next to it. So that's a 4 shape for the first half of the knot and a sail shape for the back half of the knot, or the bottom half. And then we're going to just do forwards knots with our pink string to the end of the line. And that will be the first row of our pattern. And like I said before, it's 2 rows. So your next row is going to be 2 dark string, 1 light green, 2 dark string, 2 dark green, 1 light green, 1 white, 3 pink, 1 black, 3 pink. So the only thing that's changed is our black has shifted over 1. So we're going to start this row very similar to how we did the last one. our dark green is going to do a forwards knot around its neighboring dark green. So that's a 4 shape and a 4 shape for both halves of our knot. And then our green string is going to do a forwards backwards knot on the light green string. And now we're going to hold on to our light green string, and we are going to do a forwards backwards knot with our light green string around our white string. So a forwards backwards is a 4 for the first half of the knot, and then a sail shape for the second half of the knot. Now holding on to our white string that we just knotted on, it is going to do the same thing as the last string. So it's going to do a forwards backwards knot on our first pink string. Okay, now we're going to take our pink string and finish out this row as candy stripe. Now I will let you guys know that some people have found that this pattern does have a curving issue with it. So if you do see your bracelet kind of starting to have a bit of a curve to it, this can be alleviated by doing like the opposite knots. So some of your pink strings, don't knot them forwards knots, knot them like backwards knots or forwards backwards knots to kind of even out the pattern. I didn't find it too bad here, so I just carried on doing forwards knots, but that is a complaint that some users have had. So just be mindful of that, and that would be my best solution for fixing that in this particular pattern. And those are the 2 lines you do for this pattern. So I'll show you again. So our first row is our dark green string does a forwards knot around its neighboring dark green string. And then that dark green string we just knotted with is going to do a forwards backwards knot on the light green string. This puts both our dark green strings back at the beginning for the next row. Now our light green string is going to do a forwards backwards knot on the white string. So we have that 1 green stripe and it's there for us to use next row. Our white string is now going to do the same thing, a forwards backwards knot around that first pink string. The forwards backwards puts our strings back where they began, so we have them for the start of the next row. The dark pink string we just knotted on is going to do a forwards knot on the next pink string. And then we're going to add our first seed into our row. So our next string is black, and it's going to do a backwards forwards knot around the pink string we just knotted with. So backwards forwards. And then our next pink string is going to do a backwards knot around the black string. This puts a little bit of a space between our seeds, and we can do the next seed now. So our black string is going to do a forwards backwards knot on the next pink string. And then our pink string is going to finish out the row. Just doing forwards knots. Nothing exciting. Like I said, this is pretty based on candy stripe because I didn't really know what I was doing in the generator. So it's easy to segment knot. All right, and now for the second row, our dark green string is going to do a forwards knot, you guessed it, around our next dark green string. And that same string is then going to do a forwards backwards knot around our light green string. This sets it up for the next row. Our light green string is now also going to do a forwards backwards knot around the white string. And then our white string is going to do the same. It's going to do a forwards backwards knot around the pink string. And then, because we had seeds in our last row, our pink string that we just knotted on is now going to finish out this row just like a candy stripe, doing forwards knots until the last string. So like I said, it's a pretty easy, straightforward pattern in the sense that it only has 2 rows that repeat over and over again. But of course, you do have to know basically all of your knots to be able to do it. So it's not quite beginner friendly, even though it's based on like the most basic beginner pattern ever. So yeah, hopefully this allows you guys to fulfill your watermelon bracelet fantasies, okay? All right, and you're just going to continue that for the duration of your bracelet. Just those 2 lines over and over again for as long as you want your pattern to be. Okay, and I'm back. I finished the length I wanted, and I put an adjustable closure on this, which I just did a tutorial for, so I'll post that in the cards for you guys if you missed it. And that's it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and until next time, guys, bye.